time, but this time we're gonna do a story time in my house. I'm not at the school. This story we are going to be reading Red Riding Hood. So this is about Little Red Riding Hood, but I do have my dog Twix here with me. He is just laying on the back of the couch. That's where he sleeps a lot, and he's sleeping right now because it is nighttime. So I am going to get started with our book. Are you ready? This is the front of the book. This is the back of the book. This is the spine of the book, and these are all the pages. So this is the story of Little Red Riding Hood. This one is called Red Riding Hood. This book is retold and illustrated by James Marshall. A long time ago, in a simple cottage besides the deep dark woods, there lived a pretty child called Red Riding Hood. She was kind and considerate, and everybody loved her. One afternoon, Red Riding Hood's mother called to her. "Granny isn't feeling well to snuff today," she said, "so I baked her favorite custard, a little surprise. Be a good girl and take it to her, will you?" Red Riding Hood was delighted. She loved going to Granny's, even though it meant crossing the deep, dark woods. That sounds pretty scary, to be crossing the deep, dark woods. If I had to cross the deep, dark woods, I would be a little scared as well. Would you? When the custard had cooled, Red Riding Hood's mother wrapped it up and put it in a basket. "Now, whatever you do," she said, "go straight to Granny's. Do not tarry. Do not speak to any strangers." "Yes, Mama," said Red Riding Hood. I wonder, what does tarry mean? Tarry. What do you think the word tarry means? How about you ask your mom or dad or any adult that is helping you read this story? What does the word tarry mean? Before long, she was in the deepest part of the woods. "Oh," she said, "this is scary. Do you see something?" "Who's that?" "It looks like it's a wolf. I wonder, what is that sneaky wolf up to?" Suddenly, a large wolf appeared. "Good afternoon, my dear," he said. "Care to stop for a little chat?" "Oh, gracious me," said Red Riding Hood. "Mama said not to speak to any strangers." But the wolf had such charming manners. "And where are you going, sweet thing?" he said. "I'm on my way to visit Granny, who lives in the pretty yellow house on the other side of the woods," said Red Riding Hood. "She's feeling poorly, and I'm taking her a surprise." "You don't say," said the wolf. Just then he had a delightful idea. "No reason why I can't eat them both," he thought. "Allow me to escort you," he said. "You never know what might be lurking around." "You're too kind," said Red Riding Hood. I don't think that was very kind of him. Beyond the forest, they came to a patch of sunflowers. "Why not pick a few?" suggested the wolf. "Granny loves flowers, you know." But while Red Riding Hood was picking a pretty bouquet, the clever wolf hurried on ahead to Granny's house. That's not very good. "Who is it?" called out Granny once the wolf got to her house. "It is I, your delicious sir, darling granddaughter," said the wolf in a high voice. "The door is unlocked," said Granny. Oh no. I wonder what is that wolf going to do to her? "Surprise!" cried the wolf. Granny was furious at having her reading interrupted. "Get out of here, you horrid thing!" she cried. What does it look like he's doing? His mouth is open, and Granny is saying to him, "Get out of here." But the wolf gobbled her right up. He didn't even bother to chew. "Tasty," he said, patting his belly. "So tasty." Just then he heard footsteps on the garden path. Here comes dessert. And losing no time, he put on Granny's cap and glasses, jumped into bed, and pulled up the covers. Now he's disguised as her grandma. I wonder if Little Red Riding Hood is going to notice him. "Who is it?" he called out as Little Red Riding Hood knocked on his door. "It is I, your little granddaughter," said Red Riding Hood. "The door is unlocked," said the wolf. Red Riding Hood was distressed at seeing her grandmother so changed. "Why, Granny," she said, "what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear," said the wolf. "And Granny, what long arms you have." "The better to hug you, my dear," said the wolf. "And Granny, what big teeth you have." Uh-oh. "The better to eat you with, my dear," cried the wolf. Oh no. And he gobbled her right up. "I'm so wicked," he said. "So wicked." But really, he was. Enormously pleased with himself, and having enjoyed such a heavy meal, he was soon snoring away. A hunter passing by was alarmed by the frightful racket. "That doesn't sound like Granny," he said. So he's over there, and he's walking past. I wonder if he is going to help Red Riding Hood and her grandmother out. And so the brave hunter jumped in the window, killed the sleeping wolf, and cut him open. Out jumped Granny and Red Riding Hood. "We're ever so grateful," said Red Riding Hood. "That wicked wolf won't trouble you again," said the hunter. "It was so dark in there I couldn't read a word," said Granny. Red Riding Hood promised never ever to speak to another stranger, charming manners or not. And she never did. The end. So have you ever had to visit a relative that lived far away? How did you get there? I know when I had to go visit my mom lives all the way in California. Sometimes I drive and sometimes I take a plane, and I get very, very frightened, just like Little Red Riding Hood did in the book, when I have to go really, really far by myself. What about you? Do you ever get frightened when you have to go somewhere or visit a relative? Was there ever a part in the story that was really scary? I know for me, the scariest part is when she met the wolf, because he was hiding behind a tree and he was watching her, and then he came out and he acted like he was nice when he really wasn't nice. That was really scary for me. I would love for you to tell this story to a grown-up. So you can tell your mom, your dad, or even your brothers and sisters if you have little brothers or big brothers. I would love to see you reading this story with them. You can take a video or a picture and you can send it to me. So I can't wait to see it.